Welcome back to the Necklace to Headdress challenge. Last episode, we left off with an orange long collar and some other random items. After reading some comments, I discovered that lots of people watch the Necklace to Headdress challenge to learn more about how to trade and to gain worth. I thought I could help you guys learn more by adding some commentary on what I'm thinking while I'm trading to help you guys understand my thought process and why I accepted a certain trade. So first off, I had to trade down my orange long collar so I have more items to work with to gain worth. This was a fair trade, so I accepted. This trade was also a fair trade and I'm always looking for more rims, so I accepted. Now this trade I traded under by a good long wrist to maybe a good short collar. I'm not very good with pet worth, however, I knew that this mouse was worth around a decent long collar. These people were going around Jamal saying trade me anything for these rims, and I gladly took up on their offer here. After a little bit, I got the trade that I was looking for, and I made a profit of around a bad short collar. So one thing I like doing with clothing betas is trading them away for around 15 to 20 rims. This is because I usually trade 12 rims for one clothing beta, which means I can get a profit of around 3 to 8 rims per clothing betas. So I trade for a clothing beta and then trade it away for more rims than I traded, and I rinse and repeat this cycle to have a profit of a ton of rims. This trade was slightly over by a den beta or so. I knew that I could trade the spikes and 1 or 2 den betas for another green long collar, and so I accepted. In this video, you'll notice that I'll be trading 3 den betas for a good long wristband a lot. I'm doing this because you can trade 2 good long wristbands for 1 good short collar. Now, the good short collar is worth 7 den betas, while the wristbands are worth 3. This means if you trade your wristbands for short collars and then trade the short collar down to 7 den betas, you will make a profit of 1 den beta. I was pretty much just repeating this process during the video to make a profit of 1 den beta per collar. Also, what the hell is up with this moose? Why is he so big and why is he changing colors? Does anyone know what this moose is and why he's just sitting in the middle of Jamal? I've never seen him before. I accepted this trade because they were over by 2 clothing betas, which means I can trade 10 of these items for a den beta and make a profit of 2 clothing betas. This is the process I explained earlier of trading down my short collars to create a profit of 1 den beta. And look at that, I made a profit of 2 clothing betas. This person was being very generous as they said they had an unwanted fox hat, and so they just gave it to me for free. Also, if any of the trades aren't explained, it's mostly just because the trades were fair and that was the only reason why I accepted. I traded these 3 good long wristbands for this squirrel in hopes of receiving a bad long collar for it, then I would make a profit of around a good long wristband. I accepted this trade since I knew I could probably trade 6 to 8 items off this for another den beta, which would make a profit of a few clothing betas. Then I traded the items I got earlier for another den beta, and I made a profit of around 4 clothing betas. I traded for these rim cupid wings in hopes of getting a purple long collar from it. I traded worth around 1 bad long collar and a good short collar plus add a little bit. The quality of this masterpiece was really good, and I knew I could probably get a den beta from it, so I accepted. This person was desperately looking for a brown pirate sword, and I happened to have it, so they overtraded it for it. So the demand for the rim cupid wings were a little worse than I thought, and I wasn't able to get a purple long collar for it, so in the end I probably lost worth around a bad short collar from trying to flip this item. This person traded slightly over by a den beta or so. During this time I was looking to trade down so I can make more profit from doing the spike trading cycle I was talking about earlier. So in this trade, this person had a heart wand, which doesn't have a good demand, but is worth around a good short collar. Which means that even with bad demand, I could probably trade the item for 2 den betas or maybe more, which in this case, I would make a profit of 1 den beta off of this trade. Okay, so I didn't accept this trade because I knew that this white star hat was worth around a den beta. I accepted because I thought I could trade the star hat away for another clothing beta. But I guess I learned something new from this trade. Forgot to record, but I traded 3 den betas for a good long wrist. I traded worth around a decent long collar, slightly less, for this mouse, hoping that I could maybe get a better trade for it. This person was accepting under trades for their non-member den beta, so I made a profit of a few clothing betas. This trade I got really lucky because I was having a really hard time trading my mouse away. No one wanted it, and with these mice I could probably trade for a good long collar for them. This trade was just over by a clothing beta. I traded around fair for this squirrel, hoping I could just get a better item for it. I traded over for this orange long collar as I was having a really hard time trading my pets away, so I gave up. This trade was over by around 1 den beta, and so I accepted. I traded slightly over in pet worth for this red long collar. However, since I already considered in my head that my mice are worth a good short collar each, in my head I made a profit of 2 den betas off this trade. This is because the red long collar is worth 2 bad long collars, and so if we consider that the mice to be worth 1 good short collar each, then combined they are worth a bad long collar, And then the rest of the trade is like 1 to 2 denbetas under a bad long collar, so yeah, it's a little confusing story. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next video then. Bye bye!